This is Bob Sanju, Director of Learning for our district, and I'm anxious to share some exciting news with you. First off, I want to thank you for all of the work that you engage in as teams to make sure that our students learn at high levels. Now, as you know, our district has engaged in some great work regarding being absolutely clear on what our students need to know and be able to do. 2 years ago, we began the conversation about identifying those standards that teams deem absolutely essential. We call these our GVC. Now, as you know, we began this work by teaching the process to our teacher teams. It's unanimous with educational researchers that standards help teacher teams with a direction for instruction in the classroom. Unfortunately, as I know you would agree, there are just too many standards to be able to commonly assess and intervene on. And hence, teams identify what's essential, and again, we call this the GVC. Now, as a result, we've encouraged teams of teachers to dig into the standards and come to agreement on those standards that are absolutely critical for your students to know and be able to do. Clarity in GVC allows us to answer question number 1 in the PLC process. What is it that we want them to know? As we've continued with this work, we've had a number of teacher teams ask about continuity across the district. Specifically, are GVCs similar from school to school? And what happens if a student moves from one school to another? These are great questions. This summer, teachers from every one of our elementary schools got together at the district and unpacked every single standard in literacy and math. Is this cool or what? Along with this, conversations began with each group about the big hitters or the GVC in each area. These were great conversations that took place. To access these unpacked standards, you can go to our district's website and then go to Departments and then to the Professional Learning tab. In the upper right-hand corner, you will see the work of these great teachers as you click on the button, Unpacked Standards. We know this will be a great resource for you and your team as you make plans for the 2017-2018 school year. So here's what we suggest you do. With your team, review all of the unpacked standards in your area. Number 2, pay special attention to those that are highlighted in yellow. These have been deemed critical by the teachers that got together, as well as content and state experts in each of these areas. Number 3, these are broken down into targets, so your team can now easily move these, cut and paste, into your CSIP. And finally, if teams decide to add additional GVC to their CSIP, each of the standards are broken down into targets to help you with this process.
Hi, this is Chris Cunningham, and I want to show you some of the work that was done by our teachers in the area of math. I'm going to third grade number and operations in base 10, and you will see that the format that we have used is the strand and the standard at the top with learning targets, academic vocabulary and notation, possible question stems to ask your students, and possible assessments to use with the My Math program. As Bob already stated, any standard that is highlighted in yellow has been determined to be one of our big hitters. And some of the standards have more than one highlighted. So as a team, you really need to look at that and make the decision of what you're going to do with your GVCs. Again, all this work was done to help the teacher teams at the individual schools so you can get more rigorous GVCs and more rigorous learning targets. I'm going to turn the time over to Nadine so she can explain a little bit about what happened with the language arts.
Hi, this is Nadine, and I just want to say our teachers did an amazing job on this. As you go to the language arts standards, we're going to start on reading foundational skills, first grade. You'll notice that, just like in math, that within each strand we've highlighted certain standards that are probably the most important for you to cover with your students. Now you're still going to teach all of the standards, but those that are highlighted in yellow are those that have shown by research and by our teachers teams and also by our state experts to be those that probably impact student learning the most. You'll see those same type of highlighting throughout all the other standards. But you'll notice here, just on first grade reading, that phonics and phonemic awareness are probably critical learning skills.
So guys, a tremendous amount of work went into this by the teachers in our district, having conversations about each of the standards, unpacking those into measurable targets, identifying vocabulary for each target, and some possible question stem and assessment to help you. Now, this isn't an all-encompassing list, but it does give you a good start. So we'd suggest you get together with your team and look at this great work and have conversation about each of those standards. What does it look like? What do students look like that are proficient in that particular skill? So teams have absolute clarity when they go into the classroom. They know exactly what they're going to teach and what a student that's proficient will look like. Again, we want to thank you for the work that you've engaged in throughout last year. We appreciate you, and we know you are where the rubber meets the road. You are where learning happens. As always, we're here to support your work, so if you have questions, please reach out through email or give us a call. We're more than happy to come and assist you and your team as you move forward, ensuring high levels of learning for every one of our students. Have a great day.